And thanks for joining us here at the PSB Summer Kickoff. We have this game already in progress. Carolina All-Stars versus Georgia Sting Avery.
Great matchup here on hand. Both teams have fantastic two-day stretch. You see Benjamin there, 6'1", 2018 for Georgia. Sting Avery knocked down the three.
This Georgia Sting Avery squad, well, both of these squads here are two well-coached teams. You know to expect a certain level of talent from them each year. But specifically this Georgia Sting Avery squad, I couldn't wait to see them in July. I thought early on at the PSB events that they competed in, I didn't think it was the same Georgia Sting Avery that we have seen over the past few years, just in terms of the precision, in terms of players like Deshae Benjamin, as well as Alana Davis doing what they do to the level that they do it at. But that's why you have the course of a travel season, man. It's all a chess game as they get ready for July, and I'm looking forward to seeing them go against a very good Carolina All-Star squad here in front of these college coaches.
It's been a packed house all day here today. And we had coaches here packing the baseline starting at the 8 a.m. game. You know, they're here right now. This is just an amazing way for these teams to start off their summer here during the July Open period.
Can't beat it, man. So you not only get the college coaches, but you even get a shot of Stephen Peck, Jonathan Hemingway. So on top of the coaches that are here on site, seeing firsthand, you get talent evaluators like those shown on the screen that are able to see you and get evaluations in as well. So 4-7 now. That one's knocked around. The All-Stars trying to come up with another opportunity, but Sting Avery pulls it out of there. That's still picked up by Kelly Fitzgerald for the other end. That's a three. That's Jalen Powell. Anybody that's been paying attention to Twitter, even if you haven't been here, you've been able to see some of her exploits here at this weekend's event.
Oh, she's played out of this world the last 2 days. I mean, you see her there with the pull-up three in transition. It's going to be a great matchup we have right here.
So we're tied up at 7 apiece. Trying to work it in. Entry pass. Alana Davis able to use the nice touch to lay it in, put Sting up by 2.
You know, one thing about Davis really starting to stand out, you can tell she spent some time in the weight room. She spent some time with her agility workers. You saw her there with the block and the outlet, really developing, and it is going to be a great player to watch during this July period, moving in to next school year, and really think her recruitment with colleges should definitely pick up.
As she followed that bucket with a score on the other end. Let's take a look at that last play there on the jump shot. That was Olivia Owens. Owens not only showing the lost start of the mid-range, but going off the glass as well. She scored the first points of the game for Georgia Sting Avery. That last deuce makes it 7-11. As they get it into Zaria West. A lot of space. Study long on that one. You could tell Amoria Tizer, she had already predetermined that she was going to pass there. Both defenders had committed to the inside, had a wide open shot. By the time she actually took it, was out of rhythm there. So off the mark, but I'm sure if you're Coach Norwood, if you can have shots that open on a regular basis, you'll feel pretty good about things. Well, I expect that to be more of an aberration. I don't think too many jump shooters in this game will be that open throughout. Coming up on the 2-minute mark here in the first quarter. Davis gets it on the block. This time she'll have to go to the free throw line to get her 2. Foul going to go against number 35, Sydney Neal. So Davis at the line. Davis out of Cross Creek High School. Can't get the first free throw to go. Substitution in for the Carolina All-Stars. Number 4, Kelly Fitzgerald back in. Christian Eanes has a seat. Number 31 for Georgia St. Avery, Sydney Graydon gets a breather. And Autumn Woodard, number 11 out of Morgan County High School, comes into the game. You remember the former Morgan County High School guard and former Georgia Sting Avery player, Alexis Pumpkin Brown, was so solid at the point guard position for Coach Avery over the past few years. Trip to the line coming here for Tariah Johnson.
Really like Johnson's game, you know, being left-handed, playing on the wing, has the ability to shoot the ball as well as get to the rim. That's what, you know, you really want to see her get going by getting a couple of easy drives, maybe a finishing transition, and really get that outside shot going.
Have a foul there on the rebound attempt. Subbing in for the All-Stars, number 10, Bryn 8. Gonna find a way to confirm the pronunciation of Bryn's last name there. Gonna hope for the best in the interim. It's a 5-point game in favor of Georgia Sting Avery. They've been very deliberate about going inside to Davis. This time, Davis able to pass it to a cutting Aubriana Bonner. Bonner will shoot 2. We spoke of Autumn Woodard out of Morgan County, one of their rivals, even though they're not both located in Augusta, is the Augusta-based Laney High School. That's where Aubriana Bonner attends high school at, Morgan County and Laney. Even though Morgan County just a little bit further up 20, not in Augusta, that is a gym that is always a packed house when those two squads play. And they always combine to make a formidable punch here for Georgia Sting Avery. It's a 6-point game here. Marcus Burnett joined by Chris Watkins here as we come up on the final minute of the first quarter. You mentioned the weight room for Alana Davis, showing that, but also just doing a good job of getting up and down, knowing when to pass, and just making things happen.
Got him. That right there is Kelly Fitzgerald. You talk about someone who's had herself a day. She went off this morning in their game. She went off last night. Has the ability to put it on the deck, has a little bit of wiggle when the ball's in her hands. And you saw right there with the right to left crossover and pull up in the paint.
Makes it a 6-point game. Hustle by Bonner, unable to save it in time. Let's take another look at that play by Fitzgerald. You can see her knock down the baby jumper. Like the All-Stars will probably hold for the last shot here or take the first good one that becomes available. That one comes hard off the glass and seconds to work with, but Davis turns it over. Good use of the pivot, getting the bounce. And that is a good way to end the first quarter there for the Carolina All-Stars. Tariah Johnson, make sure they go out with some points on the board. Second half is underway here at the PSB Summer Kickoff. 4-point advantage for Georgia Sting Avery. Fitzgerald with the ball up top, being guarded by Bonner. Getting the step and the lay-in. Starting the second quarter off the same way she finished the first one. Tariah Johnson gets the step and lays it in. She's been making you look like a very wise man since you sort of forecasted what she could do on the floor, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it all started, we talked about she got to get to the rim first. She got there, got that little bucket there to end the quarter. I mean, with her length, you see her right here guarding Benjamin. You know, she's got her hand on the ball right there. Just has great length and being left-handed, naturally a better defender. It's one of the reasons why Tayshaun Prince had such a long career in the NBA, because naturally you put your left hand up, majority of people are right-handed. It's easier for you to deflect shots.
Tayshaun had a good career, man. Got it done for years on top of years. Got a ring in the process. Risky pass, and Aubriana Bonner takes the cookies and lays it in on the other end. Good defense by Bonner. As you can see, she is focused on making sure Kelly Fitzgerald and the guard corps for the All-Stars have as tough of a day as possible. Gets that scoop and score to make it 17-13. But Fitzgerald answers back with another short-range jumper. Inside-out game. Shot missed, offensive rebound, and we'll have a foul on the play. Believe it's going to go against Tariah Johnson. That will send Celine Fortune to the free throw line. First free throw's good. Number 12 and number 24 subbing in for the Carolina All-Stars. That's Christian Eames and Maya Johnson, respectively. And Selena knocks down the second free throw. 4-point game as we're just under the 6-minute mark. Fitzgerald bottled up nicely by Bonner. Coming over and stealing it is Olivia Owens. Owens with the lay-in. But again, all of that created by the on-ball defense of Aubriana Bonner. But credit to Owens for anticipating that pass, getting in the passing lane and laying it in. Fitzgerald gets the steal right back, kicks it to the corner, three-pointer off the mark, shot followed, but it's Sting Avery that comes away with it. Now they'll run ahead to Owens. Owens hesitates for a second. Throws it away after nearly having the pocket picked. Back and forth stretch here. Fitzgerald will choose to slow it down for a second and see if the All-Stars can get a bucket. 2-3 off the mark. Bonner, too long stride and too strong off the glass there with the left. Passing up on the three to take the deuce. Touches every part of the rim imaginable, but won't stay down. Therefore, Zaria West. Passed up a good look to get a few steps closer. Shot wouldn't fall for her, but we still have a 6-point game. So a timeout on the floor. We're going to take one with them when we get back. More PSB Summer Kickoff. Back from the timeout, coming under the 4-minute mark here. 6-point lead for Georgia Sting Avery. Owens misses the jumper, rebound right to Kaylin Powell. Kaylin Powell out of Roseville High School. Fitzgerald, that'll be a 2 if it goes. Money in the bank. Picking her spots on when to attack. Very heady guard there in Fitzgerald. West fouled on the shot attempt. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. First free throw off the front of the rim. Back in for Georgia Sting Avery will be number 24, Alana Davis, and number 23, Deshae Benjamin. Very good combination on the interior of number 31, Sydney Graydon, and Alana Davis. Number 24 for Georgia Sting Avery. And even though the Carolina All-Stars trail by 3 now, they've done a good job of keeping that combination at bay. Just not able to close the gap just yet. Meanwhile, Deshae Benjamin.
You know, with Deshae Benjamin really starting to put everything together. You know, a year ago we talked about the potential, you know, her athleticism, man, she can handle the ball. But she's really, you saw her right there. What I think has been her progression, as you saw number 13 there, Jalen Powell again, knocked down the 3, is that now she's really getting to that 3rd level. She's getting her shoulder down and turning the corner and going to the rim. So much, you know, 6 months ago when you're talking March, last fall, she would let them stop her. You see her there knocking down the 3. So really putting it all together, really taking what coaches see as potential that they were salivating over, and now going, now we're not talking potential, we're talking production and what she's able to do now.
Big point there. That transition from potential to production makes all the difference. Benjamin makes it 21-26. That shot partially blocked. And he pulled away by Aubriana Bonner. Bonner to Davis. Davis saves it in to Owens. Owens tries to get it out of that corner, does so to Benjamin. Benjamin floats it up and in. So Deshae Benjamin has the last 7 points here for the Georgia Sting.
You know, one thing that I think even our Jonathan Hemingway would really notice is how good of a job the Carolina All-Stars do of just running their offense and getting open. You know, probably one of the best teams I've seen here in recent memory. You know, they do what we call an L cut. You know, walk in, pop out, their hands are up. Talk about it, especially Kelly Fitzgerald does such a great job of that.
See the block, good defense on Maya Johnson, but back to your point, Chris, yes, they do a good job as a team offensively, running their sets and really just playing the game well. But, you know, Fitzgerald definitely that straw that stirs the drink. You know, she's able to handle the pressure that you see applied by an Aubriana Bonner, and, you know, players that don't have as tight of a handle or aren't as battle tested. It's going to be hard not to be turned over or really thwarted by the pressure that you're seeing Bonner apply early on. But with all that being said, the credit for the All-Stars, it's Georgia Sting Avery that's been in the lead for the majority of this contest and is trying to create a little more distance as we go into halftime. Benjamin knocks down that free throw. Let's take a look at one of a cluster of buckets she's had over the past few minutes. As there you see Jalen Powell with a hand in face, but not enough to keep Benjamin from knocking down the triple moments ago. Coach Will Avery calling for one shot. Benjamin says,
Nope.
All right, well, technically that was one shot. Might not have been at the end of the clock or closer to the end of the clock, like Coach. Benjamin wasn't looking when Owens threw it in. So it will be the Carolina All-Stars ball. Coach Norwood arguing that the ball should be under the basket since nobody touched it. Officials coming together. So they come together and get it right. So Carolina All-Stars ball there along the baseline. They've got 4 seconds to work with. Shot kicks off the back of the rim, and that is how the second quarter will end. Thanks for joining us here on SUV TV. We'll be back with more PSB Summer Kickoff. Second half is underway. Thanks for joining us here in the third quarter. Georgia Sting Avery with a 9-point lead here over the Carolina All-Stars. And it's been a game where the Georgia Sting Avery defense has been a big reason why they're up here, even though you saw Deshae Benjamin have a nice little spurt. She scored double digits just in the last few minutes of that second quarter alone. You really saw their defense sort of stifle this Carolina All-Star squad. They've been able to score here and there. When you look at Tariah Johnson, that was able to put together a few nice buckets. Kelly Fitzgerald with some jumpers, but for the most part, this Georgia Sting Avery defense has been solid. Marcus Burnett joined by Jonathan Hemingway, who will be here courtside with me for the second half. How's it going, Hemi?
Great day, Marcus. Glad to join you. PSB Summer Kickoff, kicking off the month of July in the right way. Tons of talent here, really taking in and enjoying this game here. It's always good to see two PSB family members go head-to-head. Like you were talking about, so much talent out here on the court. I really thought you see the ball here in number 4's hand. Kelly Fitzgerald's had just a terrific weekend. So solid. Her jumper has been very, very consistent. And speaking of jumpers, that's number 1, Zariah West, hitting that pull-up jumper there. But Fitzgerald really solidifying her stock as a you know, a must-recruit prospect out of the state of North Carolina.
This is now a 7-point game. Good start out of the gate for Zaria West, knocking down that jumper. Fitzgerald able to keep it in bounds. She's been short on her last few jumpers after knocking down the first 3 or 4 that she took.
Talking about the Georgia Sting, you mentioned their defense and keeping the All-Stars, you know, limiting their, I guess you could say, their good looks, you know, whether it be on the paint or at the arc. So much length inside, as you see Jeffcoat here with the pull-up jumper, can't get it to go, but Elena Davis, Sydney Graydon, you know, both, you know, anchoring the inside. But then you got Deshae Benjamin, 23, who can be a point guard or she can be a wing forward. So much length there that really presents a lot of problems for their opponents.
Benjamin can definitely be described as a problem for opposing teams. Olivia Owens fits into that mold as well. Like her touch in the mid-range, but also she's used glass a couple times, which we know we don't see too often. You don't see the mid-range a ton, and you don't see the mid-range off the glass a ton. Owens has been pulling that out of the bag this game. Step back by Powell.
Owens has been a new name for me. Not familiar with her game previous to this tournament, but she's come in, done a great job. You see her here on the wing. Nice little ball fake and pull-up jumper here. Gets that to go. Just been very solid for Coach Avery's team. Hitting the open jumper, you know, providing some ball handling duties at times, and a nice little scoop lay-in there by number 12, Kristen Eanes. But finishing the thought there on Owens, number 10 in white. She's come in very timely here for Coach Avery's Sting team and provided very good minutes, and she's going to be a kid that, you know, I would, you know, want to continue to track on down the line to see, you know, how she develops. 2017 prospect, you know, from Port Wentworth, Georgia. Johnson High School, I believe, down there in the Savannah area. Definitely see her as a kid that could, you know, climb the ranks, you know, within our scouting report as being very much a value recruit for schools, you know, in that, you know, southeastern region.
As we saw a couple replays there during the timeout. Davis to Benjamin, layup.
See Benjamin, 24 there with a good little pass down the lane. That's the one thing that Davis does a very good job of, is passing the basketball. She's been known as a very good finisher around the rim, but she can work that high-low with Graydon, and on that time with the step out and the dump off to Benjamin, making her a dual threat on the offensive end.
In the hands of Lexus Jeffcoat. Jeffcoat to Davis. Caught that down low with Fitzgerald on her. Thought the layup was just a foregone conclusion, but it won't stay down for her. Let's see if the capitalize here on the offense.
We talked about Fitzgerald really solidifying her stock for the All-Stars. Davis has done exactly that here this weekend. 2017 prospect, already holds a number of different offers, you know, from around the southeastern region, and I think you can expect a few more offers to pile on after the summer kickoff.
Johnson ran into Benjamin short there on the layup attempt. Rebound brought down by Tizer. Converted on the other end, Zaria West.
Good body control, good touch there by West. She's had a couple of buckets here in this second half. She had 6 at the half. I believe that gives her a count of 10 for the game, and playing very well here in this third quarter.
Going for the 3 there. That one is off the mark.
Well, I jinxed her that time. Bragging about her, and then she takes a tough shot right there, but shouldn't overshadow the fact that she's had a good weekend all in her own right. Zaria West, check prospectsnation.com for her evaluation. She was EVA camper last year. Built that reputation and is coming out and living up to it here for the All-Stars.
Benjamin is fouled on the floor. Now Benjamin trying to use her size advantage there. Double comes, so she'll get it to Davis. Davis weaving through black jerseys, and we'll head to the charity stripe for 2.
Davis is such a force in the middle of the paint there. Once she gets her hands on the basketball, it's very tough to keep her off of the glass and scoring around the rim. You see the solid free throw stroke. Coach Avery was telling me about, you know, the work that she's been putting in the gym, and it surely is paying off here this July.
Free throw kicks off the back of the rim. Still a 10-point lead for Sting Avery. Let's finish there. That's another one for number 12, Christian Eanes. Had a nice finish earlier in the quarter. There, the good footwork and the scoop shot.
All-Stars just hanging around, just 8 points here. This game is not by any stretch of the imagination out of reach for Coach Norwood and his group. But they are going to have to come up with some defensive stops, that's for sure. And right now they haven't found an answer for Benjamin or Davis thus far.
They're able to get the stop there on that possession. Now Fitzgerald trying to convert it into points. Access denied on the inside. Sydney Graydon gets a piece of that shot.
Great little scoop pass there by Fitzgerald, but better defense, as you mentioned, by Davis.
Tipped out of there by Bonner. Bonner will chase down the long offensive rebound, and Sting Avery will get another crack at it.
Davis kind of shaking her head right now, not really happy at the fact that she's missed a couple of point-blank left-handed jump hooks right there. But what's more impressive to me, more than anything, is the fact that she's showing the footwork, the willingness to make the pivot, you know, the left-handed, you know, hook shots, you know, around the rim, and that really shows a progression of sorts for Elena Davis on the offensive end.
Davis is going to get a breather. Coming in for Davis is going to be Selena Fortune. Also another Georgia Sting Avery substitution coming in, number 30, Jaden Hamilton, another Laney High School representative here on the Sting Avery side of things. Fitzgerald can't get that free throw to go. Rebound going to be brought down by Hamilton. Joined on the mic by Brandon Clay. Brandon, a 7-point game as Sting Avery has been the mouse in the cat and mouse game here so far.
Anytime you get these two programs together, you're going to get a battle. That's exactly what you're getting right now as you see the illegal screen call there. Both teams trying to execute the offense. Both teams playing into their bench right now, giving their rotation kids some minutes and opportunities here in front of the numerous college coaches on hand here at the PSB Summer Kickoff.
Be brought back out there by Johnson. Johnson has had a cool second half after a good first. Draws in the defense there.
That's a great kick, man. She's such a talented player in terms of her ability to.
Just like that, it's
good pass ahead by Johnson, just a little miscommunication there.
Johnson gets back on D. Carolina All-Stars trying to end this quarter with the stop as they're always hovering around.
But not sure she would have gotten it off in time, but Johnson's ability to defend, we talk about 1 through 4, versatility, multiple positions, the length, and then obviously offensively, you know, it makes you think of Sean Livingston, you know, in terms of his versatility to the game and the things that he can do. Johnson bringing some of the same qualities here to this matchup.
Very good Livingston comparison there with Johnson. Although, depending on who's viewing here, the mention of a Warriors bench player might be a sour subject.
Oh, man, come on, man. You were up 3-1.
Yeah.
3 5-minute segments in 3 games that you lost. You the one supposed to be taking the shots. Now you want to go to the other team. Yeah, we got to have a full segment, a full BCS report segment on that one right there, man. Feel like Woj and the vertical with that, man. Talk about free agent signings. But I only want to talk about the big ones, though. I don't want to talk about all them little ones. I don't care where Della the Dover's going. I just want to talk about KD.
Or you mean that E'Twaun Moore signing isn't going to be at the top of your news feed?
Come on, man. The only reason you know about it is because it's Purdue, man.
Exactly. And facts. Bonner takes the shot from the top of the key, misses it. Deshae Benjamin trying to come up with the rebound, and it'll be touched last by Sting Avery. I won't say momentum is fully on the side of the All-Stars, but he's definitely shot a text message and said he's in the area. We'll see if they can bring him on over.
Well, this is definitely a game that on paper was an even matchup. As you see Johnson with the nice move to the rim, doesn't fall. But, you know, they've put themselves within striking distance. And when you've got Kelly Fitzgerald on your side, Johnson on your side, Powell, and some of the other weapons Coach Norwood has, it's exactly where you want to be.
Shot wouldn't stay down there for Johnson. Nearly a turnover, but Sting Avery has it as they'll try to settle it down in the hands of Autumn Woodard.
Well, and I talked with Will Avery at the beginning of the spring, and one of the things that he said is, Brandon, this team is going to be one that is considerably better in July than we are in the spring here, in late March and early April. You know, because I've got a new group, as you see the pull-up and the cash there from Owens. And he's proving to be prophetic as you're watching the growth of this team from spring showdown to now.
You know, we could see it. You know, I mentioned that earlier in the broadcast, just how in some of the spring PSB events, it wasn't the same Georgia Sting Avery team that you're used to seeing, but as usual, Coach Avery composed on the side, realized that the marathon it was versus the sprint, and now this team is taking form here in July.
Well, good call there by Coach Norwood. Quick forward run for Avery. Doesn't want to let them get any further out. As you talked about momentum, and we talked about, Avery, the growth and development of this roster. Look at this right here. That's a way to stop a run and send the message back to momentum undelivered.
Libby Owens says, man, whoever told you guys the mid-range is dead, somebody's lying to him or he lying to y'all. She's been knocking down the mid-range all game, off the glass, without it.
Don't ever let anybody say I lied to you, Jack.
6 minutes, 34 seconds remaining here. I think for the All-Stars, you want to respond here, and a big part of that response is going to be Kelly Fitzgerald. Doesn't necessarily have to be scoring the ball, but in terms of setting the table for others and making it happen, she's going to be needed. Powell can't get that shot to go. As Georgia Sting Avery defense continues to make things tough on the inside.
41.
Coming up on the 6-minute mark. Benjamin over to Woodard. Entry pass to Davis is stolen. Now they get it in the hands of Fitzgerald. Joined back on the mic by my right-hand man, Jonathan Hemingway. Aria West gets it to Powell. Done a good job defensively on Powell here in this game. Even there, she did draw the foul, but not a lot of soup being given on the inside by Sting Avery.
Haven't talked about Powell just a whole lot in this second half. I'm sure you and Chris Watkins have talked about her in the first half. You see Sting getting an easy lay-in here, but number 13 in black, Jalen Powell, certainly one of Coach Norwood's more consistent performers, a versatile scorer, and she's shown range on the jumper here today. But again, she's one of these kids that, you know, likes to get down in the lane, be able to score, you know, amongst the trees, but the length and the athleticism of Coach Avery's group made it real tough for Jalen here today in this third-place game.
Yeah, very much so. 10-point game. Benjamin trying to make it 13. Shot off the mark. West skying for the rebound. coming up on the final 5 minutes. Fitzgerald elbow jumper is good.
See if the All-Stars can kind of put something together here down the stretch. It's going to be important for them to come up with stops first. It's going to have to start on the defensive end.
4 minutes, 58 seconds on the game clock. Good defense by Olivia Owens. She blocks that one cleanly and gets it over to Benjamin. Ripped away, but right to Olivia Owens. The Red Sea parts for Deshae Benjamin. They're able to recover in just enough time to foul, as Benjamin will get 2 free throws.
Big time screen by Owens at the top of the key there to free up Benjamin down the lane and see what type of a problem Benjamin can be. Talking about a 6'1" ball handler, and when she gets going downhill, well, it's tough. You're not going to be able to slow her down with that much of ease.
Christian Eanes checks back into the game, along with Brent 8. Nine-point game. It's definitely go time for the All-Stars if they're really looking to close this gap. That turnover not going to help the cause. Autumn Woodard picks it up. Poked away initially, regathers it and lays it in. Aubriana Bonner called for the quick foul there. Powell being guarded by Benjamin. Active hands by Owens. Now it's a foot race between her and Brennan. Shot thrown up and missed, and an and one scored for Bonner. As she lays it up and in.
Bonner's got to be one of my favorite players at the tournament this weekend. She's just a fireball. You know, her skill set may not be the most polished out there. You know, certainly her jump shot's got a little rounding out to do, but she just brings so much energy, defensive ability. You know, I remember watching a game back preseason in March, and she had a game where she scored 28 points, you know, just ripping balls, you know, off of opponents, going end to end, scoring. And she's just one of those perfect spark plug players that I think Coach Avery's doing a great job of using.
Yeah, agreed. You know, you look at this game, and her defensive presence there in guarding Fitzgerald is bigger than anybody that just looks at the box score will be able to see. You know, not like she's been able to turn Fitzgerald over a ton. Fitzgerald is too steady of a ball handler for that, but in terms of just being able to make sure she's not able to get to her spots on the floor with any sort of frequency or really create for others, she's just done a great job of just bothering her and limiting her production, especially as the game has went on. Entry pass poked away, and Bonner with the cut. Too strong on the layup attempt. Fitzgerald with the rebound. Fitzgerald sets the screen for Powell there, but going to be knocked out of play. Last touched by Sting Avery. Pointer off the mark. Benjamin with the rebound. Under 3 minutes left to play now. A lot of air under that pass. Woodard comes down with it. Pass a little too tall for Davis. Two subs coming back in for the Carolina All-Stars. Number 1, Zaria West, and number 9, Amoria Tyser. Want to see more PSB summer kickoff after this game finishes off. You can tune in for the next game, which is scheduled to start at 4:10. That one will just be video only, no commentary, but you can still tune into that one in order to see Team Elite Hubbard versus the Winston-Salem Steelers Lion squad. The winner of that game has a chance to play in the championship game scheduled for 6:30. So one of those teams will have a chance to play on SUV TV again for a championship at 6:30.
Good game. Excited about that one, Marcus. Coach Hubbard over here to our left, down here on the baseline. Know he's going to have his team all amped up, ready to go for that semifinal game. Winston-Salem Steelers, always a very fundamental group of young ladies, so anxious to call that game with you, Marcus. Here coming up next.
Benjamin to Woodard. Good defense by Owens. Coach Norwood trying to get the timeout prior to the jump ball being called.
If we could sum up this game really in one area, it's been on the defensive end.
Yep.
You know, Fitzgerald, Powell, and West, and even Johnson, they've had their moments offensively. They've scored some buckets. But you've got to be able to score more than 37 points in a game, you know, if you're going to want to beat a quality team like the Sting. Now, the Sting, they've had their moments offensively, but also had their moments where they've missed some easy shots. But overall, their ability to block shots, make things difficult for the All-Stars on the offensive end has really been the difference here today.
Agreed. Coast-to-coast finish for Zaria West.
Took a lot of guts right there to take it right at Benjamin, didn't it?
West has plenty of those. It hasn't, panned out, but again, it's that common thread that we've talked about. That their defense, it's just been tough for Carolina All-Stars to get anything going, despite some of the solid pieces that you see here for the All-Stars.
Yeah, as I said, it's been in spurts, but they've just not been able to get anything consistent. You know, Fitzgerald's got a couple of jumpers going, but, you know, overall, Coach Avier's group has just done a good job of, you know, every 3 times down the court, they're getting 2 stops. And, you know, you're just not going to be able to win too many games, you know, only scoring 1 out of every 3 times.
Yeah. Coming up with the steal and getting the and one there is Fitzgerald.
No quit left in her, though. Just under a minute left. Fitzgerald says, hey, I'm not done. I'm not done just quite yet.
You see her come up with the steal. Lost the handle, but stuck with it and got the and one.
Some good defense. Speaking of defense, All-Stars here turning up the pressure. This might be they've played a lot of games.
One's going to center. Actually, officials say that's not the second team foul under 2 minutes, so still one foul away. Relatively speaking, a mouse in the house inside. They find Alana Davis, and she lays it in. As Aria West caught between a rock and a hard place there. Us here on SUV TV, we will be back with more PSB summer kickoff coverage.